Describe a situation or time when you received some useful advice. You should say what the situation was, who gave you the advice, what the advice was, and explain how this advice was useful to you. Describe an important conversation that you had with someone. You should say when you had this conversation, who you had the conversation with, what the conversation was about, and explain how this conversation influenced you. Answer. It was 5 years ago when I was in my junior year of college. I was struggling to find out what career would I follow in the future. As juniors, we had to choose courses related to our business concentration, such as marketing, finance, human resources, or management. At that moment, I was confused since I did not specifically like any of them. As the deadline closely approached, I had to quickly make my decision. I decided to talk with my father, a wise man, about my problem. Different from many other parents who always make decisions for their children, my father guides me to the answer and lets me choose what I want. He asked me what I would like my life to be like when I graduated, then analyzed my personality, discussed my strengths and weaknesses. He also showed me some career paths I could follow if I chose certain options. After an hour of talking to him, everything had become clearer, and I finally made my decision to follow a career in finance. Thanks to the conversation that day, I understood more about myself. 5 years have passed. I am now a financial analyst for an entertainment company, and I have never regretted my decision. Vocabulary. Career. Your profession. The type of employment you will likely have for a long period of your life, or perhaps your entire life. She was happy to have chosen a career that suited her personality perfectly. Related to. Having to do with. Having an association with. In this context, the student needs to take courses that are related to business. She is tired of taking courses related to her major. Now she just wants to take classes for fun. Deadline. A time when something is due, when it has to be done. I am hoping that we will finish this project by our deadline. Closely approach. To get closer and closer to a certain point or destination in a short amount of time. When something is closely approaching, it means you are very near to that time. The baby's due date is closely approaching and we still aren't prepared. Guides me. To guide is to help someone by showing them a way, or by giving specific information or assistance without actually doing the task for them. The teacher guides us in how to learn proper study techniques. Analyzed my personality. To examine, assess, or evaluate your personality from different points of view. You can take a personality test like the Myers-Briggs to help see your patterns and propensities. My mother is a psychologist, and she loves to analyze people's personalities to see what makes them tick. Regret. To feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. He regretted not having attended college sooner.
Regret. 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 regret, 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 regret. Personality, persa, sa, persa, now, now, personality, 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 persa, sa, persa, now, now, personality. Analyze, ano, eyes, eyes, analyze, analyze, ano, eyes, eyes, analyze, analyze, ano, eyes, eyes, analyze, analyze, 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 N-O, 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 eyes, eyes, analyze, analyze, guide, 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 approach, 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 closely, close, Lee, closely. Closely. O, close. 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 Lee, closely. Deadline. Dead. Line. Line. 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 Deadline. Related. Relay. Related. 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 Relay. Related. Career. Rear. Ear. Rear. Career. 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 career, ka, ka, rear, ear, rear, career, career, 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 ka, rear, ear.
Number 69. Describe a song that has special meaning for you. You should say what this song is about, when and where you first heard this song, how often you listen to this song, and explain why it has special meaning for you. Answer. I love listening to music, so I like many songs. However, one of my favorite songs that I want to talk about today is Hall of Fame by The Script and will.i.am. This song was written for the 2012 Olympic Games. When it came out, it quickly became a hit on every single music chart throughout the world, not just because of its catchy melody, but also for its meaningful lyrics. The song talks about how each of us can be a champion or anything we want to be, as long as we dedicate our time and efforts to doing what we are passionate about. The song is played at big athletic events to pump up the crowd, but you can easily relate to the song at other times as well, especially when you are about to give up. I think this song has such a powerful message that whenever I was tired or had decided to quit, it would lift me up right away. It made me think about why I had started in the first place and that I needed to finish the job that I was currently doing. Vocabulary. Became a hit. When a song becomes a hit, it means that it is super popular and that people are listening to it on the radio and buying it on iTunes or elsewhere. Example, Taylor Swift's song Bad Blood became a hit instantly. Catchy melody. The melody is the part that you sing along with, and if it is catchy, it means that it is easy to sing along with and people like it. You easily remember it and it sticks in your mind. Example, the song Uptown Funk has a catchy melody that people love to sing. Meaningful lyrics. Lyrics are the words in a song, and if they are meaningful, it means that they actually mean something or have some sort of importance or significance. They aren't just silly, meaningless words. Example, his sister writes meaningful lyrics for her songs. Champion, someone who wins, a winner. Example, he didn't see himself as a champion until he had reached his goals. Dedicate, to commit your time to doing something, to make a promise to yourself to do something. Example, you were able to get a high score on the test because you dedicated 2 hours every day to studying and preparing yourself. Effort, the work that you put into doing something. Example, the time and effort he spent improving his English paid off when he got a $10,000 raise. Passionate. If you are passionate about something, it means you have a strong desire to do something or a strong interest in something. Example, elite athletes are passionate about their sport and want to become the best. Played at, to To play a song at an event means to broadcast it over loudspeakers so everyone can hear it. Example, they always play the song "We Are the Champions" at basketball games. To pump up the crowd, to get the people excited about the game or event. Example, the cheerleaders tried to pump up the crowd during the football game. Relate to see yourself in something or to understand it in a personal way. Example, she can relate to the lyrics of that song about love and loss. Give up, to quit, to stop doing something. Example, he decided to give up smoking after 10 years. Quit, to stop doing something, to give up. Example, she convinced her son not to quit the soccer team. Lift me up or lift someone up, to make someone feel better. Example, his brother is good at lifting others up when they are feeling down. Number 69, describe a song. Number 70, describe an important holiday or festival that is celebrated in your country. You should say when this celebration takes place, what people do during this celebration, what you especially like and dislike about this celebration, and explain why it is important. Answer. Today I am going to talk about an important holiday or festival that is celebrated in my country called Lunar New Year. Besides the Western calendar's New Year, the Vietnamese people also celebrate Lunar New Year according to the lunar calendar. The Lunar New Year, or Tet, usually takes place around the end of January or the beginning of February, depending on when the lunar calendar ends. Tet provides the opportunity for reunions for Vietnamese families as people tend to return to their hometowns at this time of the year. Like the Christmas tree in Western countries, in Vietnam, we buy a kumquat tree, an apricot blossom tree, or some branches to decorate our houses. People also buy new clothes and clean their houses to welcome in the new year. Some families make chung cake, a traditional cake for this special occasion. Chung cake is made of rice, mung beans, and fat pork wrapped in a banana leaf in the shape of a square. It is then boiled overnight until it is cooked. During the Tet holiday, Vietnamese visit their relatives to wish them all a happy new year. They also go to the pagodas frequently to wish for a better year to come for their families. Adults give lucky money to children. I think this is the only time of year when people can forget about all the worries of their daily lives, when they can relax, enjoy, indulge themselves, and get ready for another new year. Vocabulary. Western calendar, also known as the Gregorian calendar. This calendar is used in Western countries, and the new year begins with the first day of January. Example: international companies usually follow the Western calendar, though their country may also follow a different calendar. According to, as stated or indicated by, following, based on. According to the Center for Disease Control, all travelers should be up to date with their vaccines. Takes place around, to occur during a certain time period. Around is used in this instance to give you a general idea of when something happens rather than a very specific date. Example, the festival takes place around the beginning of May each year, though we won't know the exact start date until March 15th. Depending on, to be contingent on. Something will not happen unless something else happens first. Example, depending on the score you get on your exam, you may qualify for a scholarship. Reunion, a time when people gather together again after not having seen each other for a while. You can have family reunions, class reunions, work reunions, etc. Example, the graduating class of 1985 had a class reunion this past summer, and it was fantastic to see all my old classmates again. Tend to, used to describe when you usually do something. Example, I tend to visit my mom on Sundays. Hometown. Your hometown is the town where you spent most or all of your childhood. It is often the town where your parents still live. Example, this will be the first time she has returned to her hometown after living abroad for 5 years. Kumquat, a small fruit-bearing tree with small, round, orange fruit that is commonly used in preserves and confections. Example, my father brought home a kumquat tree for Tet. Decorate, to put things up around the home to make it look nice, to include things like flowers, artwork, lights, candles, and other types of decorations. Example, my sister loves to decorate her room with posters of the One Direction boys. To welcome in the new year, used to express the idea that you are excited for a new year to begin, so you welcome it in or invite it in. In is used to express that it is as if you were welcoming a friend into your home or into your life. Example, people in New York City are welcoming in the new year with the dropping of the ball at Times Square. Special occasion, a special event or happening. Example, a wedding is a special occasion that many people enjoy celebrating. Boil, the point when there are bubbles in the water that you are heating. Water boils when it reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Example, a watched pot never boils. This is a saying that means that something we wait for with impatient attention seems to take forever. Overnight, lasting for, extending over, or remaining during a night until the morning time. Example, she left the cat out overnight and luckily it didn't get eaten by coyotes. To wish them, to want or desire something for someone else. Example, I wish them luck on their exams. Pagoda, a religious building of East Asia and Southeast Asia, especially a multi-story Buddhist tower with widely overhanging eaves separating each level, erected as a memorial or shrine. Example, her father goes to the pagoda early in the morning. Relax, to take it easy, to release tension and anxiety, to loosen up, to become less tense. Example, she likes to take a bath to relax after a hard day at work. Indulge, to allow yourself to do what you want, eat what you want, etc. Example, They indulged themselves by sleeping late, eating whatever they wanted, and dancing until late at night. Number 70. Describe an important holiday or festival that is celebrated in your country. You should say when, thing, or someone. You should say who or what you waited for, where you waited, why you waited or had to wait, and explain how you felt while you were waiting. Answer. Having to wait for somebody is a common situation in our daily lives. There was this one time I had to wait for my friends, which was so special I'd like to share the story with you today. It was my birthday, and I had invited a group of friends to a coffee house to celebrate it. We were scheduled to meet there at 8 that evening. I was so eager that I came early. Certainly, none of them were there, but it was easy to understand because I was early. However, I waited for half an hour, but nobody showed up. And then I started to feel uncomfortable and worried. As I was losing my patience, I began to call each of them to ask why they had not come yet. To my surprise, none of them picked up the phone. I was really fed up, as you can imagine, because it was my birthday and my friends had treated me like that. I waited for a couple more minutes until I couldn't stand it anymore and decided to leave. As soon as I called the waiter for the bill, I heard the happy birthday song start up in the coffee house. Out of nowhere, all of my friends suddenly appeared with a birthday cake. They hugged me and wished me happy birthday. It was such a surprise. My anger quickly gave way to laughter, and we had an unforgettable night, chatting until the early hours, drinking coffee, and of course, eating cake. Vocabulary. Show up. To arrive where you had arranged to meet somebody. Example. It was getting late when she finally showed up. Lose my patience. To become annoyed or angry as a result of a delay. Example. The train is now 1 hour late and I am losing my patience. Fed up. bored and unhappy, especially with a situation that has continued for a long time. Example, the traffic congestion in our city never seems to get better, so people are really fed up with the time it takes to get to work. Stand something, to dislike, used especially in negative sentences. Example, I like John, but I can't stand his sister. She is very rude. Out of nowhere, appearing or happening suddenly and unexpectedly. Example, the woman cried for help, and out of nowhere, a policeman arrived. Hug, to put your arms around someone and hold them tightly to show that you like or love them. Example, the child ran out of the school and he hugged his mother, who was waiting at the school gate. The early hours, early in the morning, for example, about 2, 3, or 4 a.m. Describe a time when you waited for. Describe someone or something that made a lot of noise. You should say who or what made the noise, what the noise was like, and explain what you did when you heard this noise. Answer. If you live in Vietnam long enough, you will totally agree with me that those who are driving make a lot of noise, especially during peak traffic hours. Vietnamese roads have never been free of the honking noises of all kinds of vehicles, from vans and cars to mopeds. It is, in my opinion, the most annoying sound you could imagine. Whenever I heard people honking like angry geese, I felt very annoyed and frustrated. Vietnamese people should learn when to use the horn properly. It seems to me that they push the horn all the time because they want to be able to drive fast, while everyone else gets out of their way. Despite the fact that I hate it so much, I cannot give up driving here. So I learned to ignore it and use my horn sparingly, or just in case of an emergency. However, I still think that the city should have a campaign on educating people to use the horn in a proper way so that the city is not polluted by noise. Vocabulary. Peak traffic hours. The times when there is most traffic on the roads, usually when people are traveling to or from work. Example, because of all the traffic, it is difficult to cross the road during peak traffic hours. Honk. If you honk the horn of a car or other vehicle, it makes a loud noise like a warning sound. Example, she knew that the taxi had arrived because she heard the horn honking outside the door. Geese. This is the plural form of goose, a large bird with a long neck. It makes a loud honking noise. Example, the geese were on the lake with some smaller birds nearby, which were probably ducks. Horn, a device in a vehicle for making a loud noise as a warning. Example, in the traffic jam, some of the drivers were honking the horns of their cars because they were frustrated with the delay. Get out of the way. Move out of the route which someone else is taking. Example, all of the drivers got out of the way to allow the ambulance to pass. Sparingly, in a way that is careful, so that we only use a little. Example, he spent his money sparingly because he only had enough for a simple meal. Describe someone or something that made a lot of noise. You should say who or what made the noise, what the noise was like, and explain what you did when you heard this noise. Answer. If you live in Vietnam long enough, you will totally agree with me that those who are driving make a lot of noise, especially during peak traffic hours. Vietnamese roads have never been free of the honking noises of all kinds of vehicles, from vans and cars to mopeds. It is, in my opinion, the most annoying sound you could imagine. Whenever I heard people honking like angry geese, I felt very annoyed and frustrated. Vietnamese people should learn when to use the horn properly. It seems to me that they push the horn all the time because they want to be able to drive fast, while everyone else gets out of their way. Despite the fact that I hate it so much, I cannot give up driving here. So I learned to ignore it and use my horn sparingly, or just in case of an emergency. However, I still think that the city should have a campaign on educating people to use the horn in a proper way so that the city is not polluted by noise. Vocabulary. Peak traffic hours. The times when there is most traffic on the roads, usually when people are traveling to or from work. Example. Because of all the traffic, it is difficult to cross the road during peak traffic hours. Honk. If you honk the horn of a car or other vehicle, it makes a loud noise like a warning sound. Example. She knew that the taxi had arrived because she heard the horn honking outside the door. Geese. This is the plural form of goose, a large bird with a long neck. It makes a loud honking noise. Example. The geese were on the lake with some smaller birds nearby, which were probably ducks. Horn. A device in a vehicle for making a loud noise as a warning. Example. In the traffic jam, some of the drivers were honking the horns of their cars because they were frustrated with the delay. Get out of the way. Move out of the route which someone else is taking. Example. All of the drivers got out of the way to allow the ambulance to pass. Sparingly, in a way that is careful, so that we only use a little. Example, he spent his money sparingly because he only had enough for a simple meal. Describe someone in the news who you would like to meet. Describe a person you know whose job is important to society. You should say who this person is, how you know this person, what job they do, he or she does, and explain why you think their job is important, or why you think their work contributes to society. Describe someone in the news who you would like to meet. You should say who this person is, why they are in the news, and explain why you would like to meet this person. Answer. Today, I am going to talk about a person whose job is important to society in the news, whom I would like to meet. It is Kenny G, the saxophonist. I first listened to his music when I was very small, starting with the well-known piece, Forever in Love. It was so melodious and relaxing that every time I listened to it, I felt like I was on cloud 9. Recently, Kenny G decided to hold a concert in Vietnam, and it quickly became a major news story, covered in all of our media, from newspapers to TV and most radio channels. For people like me, who have been used to listening to his saxophone recordings since we were young, this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to meet him in person and listen to his music at a live concert, not on a music CD or online playlist. Maybe to many people, being a musician doesn't contribute much to our society. However, I think that any career that we choose to pursue plays an important role in our lives. If a business person is important, so is a musician. Imagine a world without music. It would definitely be so dull and boring. In addition, music also helps us soothe our soul and relax our brain after a hard day at work. Although we cannot quantify its benefit, the positive effects that music brings to our lives are undeniably worth valuing. Vocabulary: saxophonist, a person who plays the saxophone. Example: at the music concert, I thought that the saxophonist and the pianist were particularly good. Piece. Here we use piece to mean a piece of music. We usually use it to refer to classical music or jazz, not modern or rock music. Example: at the concert, Kenny G played 2 pieces which he had written himself. Melodious. Music which is pleasant to listen to is melodious. Example: the piece was so melodious that I remember it whenever I am feeling relaxed and comfortable. On cloud 9. Extremely happy. Example: when I read that I had passed the exam, I was on cloud 9. Hold a concert. To have a concert. We also use hold a meeting, hold a competition in the same way. Example: the organizers decided to hold the concert in New York. Once in a lifetime, used to describe something special that is not likely to happen to you again. Example: when my friend invited me to Brazil, I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to visit the Amazon rainforest. Live concert. A concert when people are watching and listening when the event is actually taking place. Example: 1,000 people attended the live concert to hear the musicians perform in person. Soothe our soul. To make us feel relaxed and peaceful. Example: rock music is loud, but to feel relaxed, I prefer to listen to classical music to soothe my soul. Quantify. To express something as an amount or number. Example: the pleasure that we feel when we see or hear something beautiful is impossible to quantify. Describe a person you know whose job is important to society. Describe a house or apartment you would like to live in. You should say where this house or apartment would be, what it would look like, when you would like to live there, and explain why you would like to live in such a place. Answer. Today I'm going to share with you a description of my ideal apartment that I would like to live in. Since I live in a big city, it is probably more convenient to buy a condo in a building complex. I prefer a cozy place, so I would expect it to be not too big, about 90 to 100 square meters, with 2 bedrooms and 2 balconies. In my opinion, this size is perfect for a small family of parents and 1 child. When it comes to cleaning the house, you would not feel discouraged by all the chores you have to do. It would be great if my apartment overlooked a river or bridge and it should be located on a high floor, like the 10th or above. As a person who loves color and nature, I would decorate my house with a lot of paintings and plants. I would make a hanging garden in one of my balconies and put small chairs and tables out so that I could sit there and enjoy my small garden. I would use yellow-tinted bulbs and lamps all over the apartment to make it cozier. If I got the chance, I would love to make my dream apartment become a reality as soon as possible, because I have always wanted to move out of my parents' house. Owning an apartment would allow me to do whatever I want, whenever I want. Vocabulary. Condo. One apartment that you own in a building with other apartments. However, the shared areas are owned by everyone. Example: the owners of the condos share the swimming pool and children's play areas that are part of the apartment complex. Building complex. A group of similar buildings of one type in the same place. Example: the buildings in the sports complex included a gymnasium and a basketball court. Cozy. Small but warm, comfortable and safe. Example: although it was cold outside, his small apartment was cozy, and so we stayed overnight. Balcony. Something that is built on the outside wall of a building, like a small platform with a wall or rail around it for safety. Example: we had drinks on the hotel balcony, enjoying the view of the sea. Discouraged. Feeling less enthusiastic about something. Example: when I looked at all the homework that I had to finish, I felt quite discouraged. However, I decided to start doing it immediately. Chores. Routine tasks. Example: I have to do some chores every day, such as cleaning the kitchen and washing the dishes. Overlook. If an apartment overlooks a place, this means that you can see that place from the window or balcony of the apartment. Example: we had lunch in a restaurant overlooking a lake. Floor. All the rooms that are on the same level of a building. Example: on the 10th floor of my apartment block, there are 6 different apartments. Hanging garden. A type of garden on a balcony or roof in which many plants are in baskets, which hang down from baskets fastened to the walls. Example: many people in our apartment complex grow flowers in baskets, which hang from the walls of their balconies. Yellow tinted. Having a light yellow color. Example: the yellow tinted lights gave our apartment a relaxing and cozy atmosphere. Describe a house or apartment you would like to live in. You should say where this house or apartment would be, what it would look like, when you would like to live there, and explain why you would like to live in such a place. Answer. Today I am going to share with you a description of my ideal apartment that I would like to live in. Since I live in a big city, it is probably more convenient to buy a condo in a building complex. I prefer a cozy place, so I would expect it to be not too big, about 90 to 1. About healthy living. You should say what the article was about, where you read it, which magazine or website, and explain what you learned, thought, from the article. Answer. Recently, I came across an interesting article on the internet about the benefits of drinking warm water with lemon in the morning. The website's name is bodyandsoul.com.au. You would normally think that lemon water is just one kind of drink that helps keep your body hydrated. However, it brings you many other benefits that you can't imagine. The article says that if you build up a habit of kicking off your day with a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon, you will do your body and mind a great favor. Firstly, lemon juice is a great source of vitamin C. Thus, it helps boost your immune system in fighting off colds and flu. Moreover, lemons are great for combating skin aging because they are rich in antioxidant properties. Lemon also helps clean our urinary tract and detoxify our livers. The list of benefits doesn't end there. The high level of potassium in lemons can help brain and nerve functioning and control blood pressure. Lemon water can also ward off stress and depression, which have been linked to low levels of potassium. As a result, the article suggests if you continue drinking warm water with lemon first thing in the morning for at least 21 consecutive days, you will notice the difference in your skin and general health immediately. Vocabulary: hydrated, capable of absorbing or taking in water. Example: in hot weather, keep your body hydrated by drinking lots of water. Build up, to develop. Example: in business, it is important to build up a good relationship with customers. Kicking off your day. Starting your day like starting a football match by kicking the ball. Example: kick off your day with a good breakfast before you go to school. Boost your immune system. To make your body stronger to help it fight against illness. Example: a healthy diet of fruit and vegetables, combined with exercise and sleep, will boost your immune system by making your body strong. Fight off, to resist, in this case, illness. Example: the soldiers fought off the enemy attack. Aging, the process of becoming old. Example: there are some skincare products which claim to stop the aging process. Antioxidant, removing harmful substances from the body. Example: vitamin C has antioxidant properties, so it is good to have it in your diet to prevent illness. Urinary tract, the part of the body through which waste liquid passes. Example: if you have pain when you go to the toilet, it may be a symptom of an infection of your urinary tract. Detoxify, to remove harmful or poisonous substances, in this case from your liver. Example: as harmful substances can build up during the night, you can clean your liver and detoxify it by drinking lemon water in the morning. Ward off, to protect or defend yourself against illness or danger. Example: she put up her hands to ward off her attacker. Describe an article you read in a magazine or on the internet about healthy living. You should say what the article was about, where you read it, which magazine or website, and explain what you learned. Describe an article you read in a magazine or on the internet about healthy living. You should say what the article was about, where you read it, which magazine or website, and explain what you learned thought from the article? Answer. Recently, I came across an interesting article on the internet about the benefits of drinking warm water with lemon in the morning. The website's name is bodyandsoul.com.au. You would normally think that lemon water is just one kind of drink that helps keep your body hydrated. However, it brings you many other benefits that you can't imagine. The article says that if you build up a habit of kicking off your day with a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon, you will do your body and mind a great favor. Firstly, lemon juice is a great source of vitamin C. Thus, it helps boost your immune system in fighting off colds and flu. Moreover, lemons are great. Describe a street that you like to visit. Describe what you would do if you had a day off, free from work or study. Describe a street that you like to visit. You should say, where is it, how often you go there, what you usually do there, and explain why you like to go there. Describe what you would do if you had a day off, free from work or study. You should say where you would go, what you would do there, who you would go with, and explain how you think you would feel at the end of this day. As a full-time employee student, I don't have much free time. As a result, whenever I have a day off, I visit my favorite street in the city. The name of the street is Huangdiu. It is located near Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, and it is the place where I would always choose to go. I usually go there in the morning, park my moped in the nearby parking lot, and walk along the street by myself. Although I am quite a sociable person, I like my own space from time to time. Living in a metropolitan area with a fast-paced life doesn't allow me to have time for myself that often. This is probably the only time I can escape from my normal routine, completely free and just breathe, without worrying about my job, my studies. This street is perfect for my purpose because there are only government offices around here. Hence, it is always quiet. Moreover, both sides of the street are planted with many big trees. Their shade covers the whole street. On a sunny day, you can see the sun's rays shining through the leaves. Every time I come here, I feel fresh and less stressed, especially after my busy days at work, preparing for exams. At the end of the day, I can refresh my mind and be ready for a new day. Vocabulary: moped, a motorcycle with a small engine and also pedals. Example: I sometimes use the engine on my moped, but more often I use the pedals like a bicycle. Sociable: a sociable person is someone who enjoys spending time with other people. Example: she's a sociable child who will talk to anyone. My own space: my freedom and time to think and do what I want. Example: he was tired of being with other people, so he went to his room to get some space. Metropolitan: connected with a large city. Example: my brother lives in the New York metropolitan area. Fast-paced: very busy. Example: My university course is very fast-paced, so it is difficult to complete all my assignments on time. Shade. An area that is dark and cool under or behind something like a tree where the light of the sun does not reach it. Example. We sat down in the shade of the wall. Rays. Narrow lines of light. Example. The rays of the sun entered my window when the sun rose early in the morning. Refresh. To refresh somebody is to make them less tired or less hot. Example. A cool shower refreshed me after running in the park. Describe a street that you like to visit. Describe what you would do if you had a day off.
Many other young people, I don't have the habit of waking up early every day, only for special occasions. Last weekend, I and a group of my friends decided to go on a trip to the mountainous area of Vietnam called Mukang Chai. We had to leave very early in the morning so that we did not get stuck in the traffic. In addition, we would have more time to spend there. It wasn't easy to get up early in the morning because I had been so excited about the trip that I had barely slept that night. I had never been to Mukang Chai before. It is located in the northern part of Vietnam, so I knew that we faced a long drive ahead. We had decided to go by car since that way all 5 of us could travel together.